What is going on, XCFL? It is your boy Regan, along with Nicholas Larson, the Commissioner in Chief. Commish
Up,
Nick,
what
how are
up?
you? You doing good, man?
Absolutely. Just finishing this game up here with Sparty.
Good deal. You
2
can say
seconds left.
your GGs on air and give him the love.
Oh, yeah. Game over. Good game, Sparty. He always is freaking tough, man. After being in the same division for like 3 cycles,
Uh,
he might be 0-7 this year, but dude plays me tough every single time.
bro,
Every time.
that's how me and Brian are. Brian and I like every time we play. At least last cycle, it was always tight, and Brian's kind of like my nemesis, at least in Madden. So Uh, yeah, man,
Oh, yeah.
it's been a good season though.
Well,
We're in season
we get,
29. Like,
yeah, 29. That's crazy.
it's nuts.
Almost to 30. We got a fun little show today. We'll kind of break down what's going on around the league. We've been moving at the most rapid pace in XCFL history. Um, So we'll try to recap on who beat who's at the top of each division. We have I think 7 or 8 Twitter questions that people sent in. We'll kind of go over some of those. Some pretty cool topics. Boxality says Brian is the worst person to play. Um, but yeah, we'll kind of go over a few different things. A couple key players that have really performed well this season. Some nice little graphics we threw together. They are not updated as of today. They were updated as of last night, but a certain producer fell asleep or just forgot. So we didn't get to do the show last night.
Who
So
would that
today
be?
it is.
I have no idea who that would be.
Yeah, me neither. But what do you have queued up first? What do you want to start with here?
Man, let's hit those Twitter questions. People have been hitting us up. We got a few of these pretty good Twitter questions on tap. Guys, keep sending them in at Hitstick Podcast XCFL or something like that. Google it or search it; it'll should pop up. Do you know what it is? What's the Twitter handle for the Hitstick
At
Podcast?
XCFL Network, which we need to
Oh,
change,
nice.
but
Okay.
we'll see. We'll see what we
Well,
put it to.
that's our Twitter handle. It is the league handle. So hit us up. And, because we don't know who retweets those XCFL network posts. Do you, Nick? I mean, like, man, I don't know. I don't know who that is.
That would be me.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay, cool,
Yeah,
cool. So
that would be me.
it's kind of, it's good. That's convenient that the guy who runs the hit stick also runs the league account. So,
Yeah.
it's if you DM him, he's probably going to see it, odds are.
Yes.
I
Who
used
else
to
we got in the
think,
chat?
funny
We got
story,
Jason chat,
funny,
Sean
completely
Smith,
irrelevant story.
unfortunately, in chat.
Funny, completely irrelevant story. I used to think it was like some kind of bot that did it because it was so
Mm,
fast, but it was also
yeah.
random. It would be like sometimes it would appear right away and other times it wouldn't. And I was like, is
Well,
Nick
that's so.
retweeting
So I can
these
set
or
it. I can set it for a bot to do it anytime it's we're mentioned. But I like
oh,
the main account retweeting it because it has more followers and it gets more publicity for the league. If I was to set it for the bot to tweet it, then when I retweeted it, it would just post in chat twice, which would just be really annoying.
gotcha.
So it's me. Usually, whenever it pops up, I'll log into Twitter or hop on Twitter app real quick and repost it. Some people like Brian like to complain if I don't do it within 30 seconds of him posting it. But
Because it's usually like
uh,
I lost or something, and he's like, "Bro, I
oh
need this
yeah,
posted like straight up."
yeah. So I do it when I can, and but uh,
Yeah, you
but
do a
it's been
great job of
good.
that, man.
Twitter activity is at an all time high as well, man. Brackets in chat, Eagles in chat, Tasha's in chat. Wow, mute Reegs. Oh, dang, Regan, I'm going to bed, says Tosh. Okay. Wow, you got a
I got a
lot of
fan
fan
following,
followers.
man. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
the
man.
XCFL booger. It's great.
Sean says, "Can we mute Nick too?" Okay, he
Wow,
is
so he just
moving.
wants like pure silence.
Silence,
That's
pure silence. Yeah.
and then just
Well,
like the slide, he just wants to stare at
let's
your
get in.
beautiful artwork.
Okay, let's get into some of these Twitter questions that we got. So the first one. It has been teased that an XAFL meetup in the United States is going to happen. When, where, and sign me up, please. Um,
I like
this
that
is a
they
little more.
specified that it was in the United States, as though we were
Yes.
going to go over to Europe for like
Hey,
the
you
one and a
never
half
know.
euros we have because we have like Riot and then half of one in Josh. I mean, like I'm not so sure about that one, but
Could be in Canada.
oh,
Eagle.
that's a good point. That's a good
Grizz says
point.
in chat. Grizz says in chat that question was Rob, which he is 100% right.
Yeah,
Um, I think Vegas would be the coolest option,
yeah, that'd be pretty
where
awesome.
you could turn it into a little vacation if you wanted to bring your wife, your kid, whoever. You could make both work out. I think a live team draft would be awesome if we could all get together
Oh,
around
that'd be
that
sick.
time. I think that would be
Yeah.
really cool. Centrally located, we have a ton of guys in the Midwest: Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, even Jersey. Right, a lot of people there. Chicago would be a cool middle area where I think would be a fun city to be in,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people around it. I think we need to make it happen. It's just going to have to be. I think we need it to be for something fun, something a league related to. I don't know if we did a Super Bowl live, it'd be kind of cool. I don't know,
Yeah, at this
but
point, any big
that's in
city
the
is
works.
pretty cheap for plane tickets. As long as it's not some obscure city
Oh
like,
yeah,
I don't know, Canada. I mean, we should be okay.
yeah. Well, that's still in the works. We'll think about it. It also wants to be somewhere cool where we can rent somewhere decent. I don't know. So we'll figure it out. I
Well, the
don't know.
question is, how much
We'll see
money do
what
we have
comes up.
coming in from Brian? Is Brian gonna be the sponsor of this with him trying to buy the Carolina Panthers? I see he's sitting at like 20 or something in the user rank.
Yeah, that we'll see. If you attend the meetup, you get big points. That's what we'd have to say.
Oh, all right.
All right, so let's go next question. Now that we're about 5 months into Madden 20, what are your thoughts on X Factor players do you like to feature? It's taken me several seasons, but I've accumulated a few now. I'm curious to see if it leads to winning more games. I'll let you go first here, Reeves. What's your opinion on X Factors, the ability X Factor and the abilities?
Abilities, man. I like the idea of the abilities. I think the abilities are more balanced. They don't. It's funny because you think that they're going to be more powerful because they're always on. But for me, the X factor are kind of the things that puts you over the top because you get that zone ability, and when he's in the zone, like for example, Lamar. When Lamar's in the zone, he can't be intercepted by X factor players, or excuse me, CPU players. Same with like your Moss ability with Taj Beverly. Anything over 50 yards, you hit Y and it's an automatic catch. So it's things like that, the things that are like guaranteed when they're in the zone, like first one free, things like that. I don't know about that. Honestly, ideally, we would just keep the abilities and then maybe get rid of the X factors because I think that's where trying to force it too much to one guy because it literally makes you, if you want to keep him in the zone, you have to make sure you target him more, which isn't really in line with our style of play.
Yeah, I didn't like him from the jump, just because I want the most realistic version of football you can get, and super duper powers don't really. I didn't like it, but I didn't
Mm.
want to take it away because every other league's gonna have it on. It's the only feature Madden added other than the cell phone, so we had to keep it on. I just
Yeah,
felt that
so
it's the new game. It would have felt I don't know.
yeah, man,
I
that
like
that getting
them.
that text from your offensive coordinator is so brand new. Like,
Yeah, oh
oh, I
yeah.
love it.
I
Great
I do
addition.
like them though because it adds more value to veteran players. And if you draft a play, the first thing everyone does right after the draft is runs to see what their hidden dev guy is. Is he X
Hmm.
factor? What's he going to unlock? It adds more variety to team building. I kind of wish there were more. If you're going to do it, we kind of talked about it in chat. If you're going to do
Yeah,
it, you need more diversity between the two,
or
between all
progression
the
system.
abilities.
A progression system for the abilities, similar to 2K, how you have bronze, silver, gold, and
Yeah.
Hall of
Yep.
Fame.
That would be good too.
If different versions of it, say if it's just a lower level player, or even in Star, maybe they could get like a bronze level or a silver level. That would be really cool. I think that the progression, it seemed like they tried to, because they have
Yeah.
like slot elite, and then I don't know. It seems like they tried to but it didn't really. Everything's kind of equal, and certain powers are way better than others for sure.
I do like that you keep your X Factor ability even as you get older. Because a guy like Harrison Smith or Chris Harris, guys that I picked up in the offseason, have zoned out still or have
Hmm.
the whatever reinforce whatever they have.
And that's cool.
And
That
I
is a
think
cool
I
thing.
think it's cool. It makes them matter more later going in. Um,
But if they're not maintaining that high level of play, I don't think they should keep it. That's the thing
I
is they
agree. Yeah.
didn't
Well,
add
that's
the
oh yeah.
where you
Don't get me started
regress.
on that.
Yeah, that's a
You
whole
can't
nother thing.
you
It's
can't
just yeah,
have progression without regression, and that's
for sure.
a huge issue here. We have way too many guys with superpowers, but um, I don't know. I definitely I'm happy we kept them on just because
Yeah.
it makes things matter rather than everybody. I mean, Jack, who normally trades for all young people, I normally trade for all young people. Brent's all young people. Are
Hmm.
going after these old X Factor players, and it changed how everybody's kind of been team building this cycle. Where it's definitely interesting. It's new, which I kind of like, but. This
Mhm.
next question is a tough one. What the fuck should the Saints do about Drew Lock? This is a.
Oof.
I almost was gonna get rid of. I was almost gonna lower him back down to a 1 year contract, like
Hmm.
as if he never re-signed him
Yeah,
because it wasn't his quarterback, But it just we've never done that in the past.
yeah,
He's
it's true.
81 overall, 26-year-old. 91 throw power, 85 deep accuracy, 89 medium, 77 short. Star dev, but the real issue is the money this dude's making. He's getting 21 mil, 22 mil, 23, 25, 26. He's getting paid until 2027
Oof.
with a gigantic cap penalty. So he's got a 60 million cap penalty. So he can't even be cut or traded or anything. Um, what I mean, the 77 short accuracy is a problem because he misses
Yeah.
everything short, the drags and the cross.
Yeah, he's built for the strong arm because I'm pretty sure IREC tried to build him for the strong arm because he had like 89
Yeah,
or 90 throw power, so he wanted to kind of boost that up. So all his accuracies went more on the middle and deep stuff. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean,
it's tough
it
because you
is.
can't
I mean,
build
it's
you can't
but
build a team. I mean, unless you get a rookie quarterback and you have him on the rookie deal while this guy's on the huge deal. But then you're sacrificing what? I mean, 20 mil to a guy who's not touching the field other than holding your field goal snaps.
yeah, it's like if another coach came in real life, man. Like it's
Yeah,
he didn't get to choose the team he got. He signed up for the job, and that's kind of how it is in the XCFL. Spot opens, you kind of just got to deal with the team as is and try to figure out how to win, how to change things around, how to dig yourself out of the hole that the previous owner left. And that was kind of, I feel like all of us kind of entered the league in a crap show of some way where it was
absolutely.
like,
Yeah.
some team was in a rough spot in some way, and so we had to
Yep.
fix it, we had to change it, which it sucks that he doesn't have the flexibility to change it, but you got to look at it as 20 mil dead space. I mean, Brackett's got 40 mil penalty. I mean, like he's basically got two Drew Locks on his roster that do absolutely nothing. So,
Well,
it's not
Brackett
the
is
end
a
of the
whole other
world there.
story because he did it to himself.
True, touche. Yeah. Okay.
But
That's fair.
but
That's fair.
let's move on here. It's a tough situation. I don't. I mean, I think he does have 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and 2 future firsts. I think the only thing you really can do is draft a quarterback early if you want to start deving your own guy. Eat Drew Lock's cap and then cut him when it gets somewhere reasonable.
Yeah, that's true.
That's all you can really do. But that's probably not gonna be
Or
for 2-3 years before even then it's gonna suck. But
or
get
the
it over
option
with when
is
you're not paying anybody.
you cut him in the off season, you eat the gross amount of penalty that he's going to have, and just accept that you're barely going to field a team that year and kind
You
of have a
don't have to. I
natural
mean,
tanking.
you traded Lattimore. You don't have to pay him. You really don't have any. I don't know, a couple guys coming up, but I don't know. You might be able to get away with that. All
Or
right. I don't
trade
know
him.
if you
You could
did
probably
your
even trade
research
him.
on this
Shoot.
one. If you want to scroll through the approved trades, but the best trade of the cycle so far, he says. Do you have a trade in mind, or should I go first? Because I have mine.
Best. Man, that's a broad
Well, we know
statement.
we won't be
Like,
talking about any of brackets trades.
yeah. I'm going to say,
For
like,
me,
for me,
go
best
ahead.
trade for both teams. That's how I'm going to define it. Let me scroll through. If you've got one in mind, that would be
I have
great so I can
one.
give me a little bit of time to look through because that's a tough one.
You're saying that you're doing best for both teams.
Yeah, best for both teams. The
All
most,
right. Well,
like,
I'm
fair,
gonna
like, wow, that was really good?
yeah. Or, well, I think the best trade for one team so far had to be the Scotty Miller trade.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean that was right out of the box. Scotty Miller for a third-round pick. Um, it doesn't get. I mean, he's what, a 97 overall or 98, a 99. I don't know what he is. But I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. You get he was 66 overall, 22 years old. You get him for a third-round pick. It just is. I mean, it doesn't get much better. He turned into a superstar X Factor. He's put up massive amounts of yardage. He's been suspended twice. So we know NWS likes him, but I think it has to be. I think it has to be Scotty Miller. Do you have something in mind that you want to talk about?
Yeah, man. I think this is one we all kind of shook our heads at the beginning when it first came out, but now I think it looks smart looking back. It's when the Cardinals traded for Brian Burns and they sent away Cam Newton, or they got Cam Newton and Brian Burns in return for Kyler Murray, Buda Baker, and a future first. Buda Baker has turned into an underrated stud for that Panthers secondary. I think that Kyler Murray has turned into the franchise quarterback that Brian wanted. I mean, he's one of the best in the league. He doesn't have escape artist yet, but to me, that's coming. If he gets that X factor, he's just getting his overall up. So as soon as he hits X factor, he should be able to get one of those. I mean, I think it was a good move for both teams because the Cardinals got the pass rusher that they desperately needed. And what people underestimated about this trade that Brian saw, which I don't give Brian a lot of credit. I know we all like to joke with him, but I mean, he can defensive ends really, really well. I mean, he took from the Titans, he took Harold Landry, who's like 27, 20, 28 now. He made him an X factor, 89 overall. I mean, that Panthers down there, they're a pass rusher factory down there. So, to get Kyler Murray in return for arguably one of the best pass rushers, he didn't have to pay him. I mean, I just think it was a nice deal for both sides.
It was, yeah. And we all make fun of Brian because he's Brian, but I mean, the users that can dev quarterbacks, and it wasn't like we were saying it was going to be a bad trade because you knew Kyler Murray was going to end up a 90 something overall just because he had the two superstar receivers that were already there. It wasn't a bad trade at all. Obviously, the Saquon trade's a huge one too.
Oh yeah,
Saquon and the Derwin one.
I don't think in retrospect though it's best. I mean, you think it's best obviously for the Pats, but
for sure,
I don't think in retrospect that Air V would trade Saquon if he had known, or traded him to somebody else, or traded for more or something. I don't know. I feel like he could have gotten more there, looking back.
But, Tosh says Chubb for Kuechly. Then Brent uses Chubb to trade with Brackett.
No, that was a good one too. I saw that too, and I considered it. But I looked up and I saw, and that was another one too, because, Kuechly and Chubb were, that one was kind of a head scratcher for me because I was like, I don't know. I mean, linebacker, running back, it felt kind of weird. But, both sides won on that one too. I like that. I agree with Tosh there.
If you want to, Reegs, we can throw Green Bay, Minnesota up in the background here. They just started. If we want to do that, do you want to let's hit a couple of these graphics first. If you have them ready, we can come back to Twitter questions.
Yeah,
when the game's on, I'll go to get the rest of those. Let's go division leaders real quick if you have that ready.
I do, yeah.
So this was as of yesterday, breaking down division leaders. Is it up there?
Yep.
I can't see the. Okay, yeah. I mean, we got the Browns, the Titans, the Jets, the Broncos all leading the AFC divisions, and you have the Vikings, the Bucks, the Redskins, and the Niners sitting atop the NFC divisions. Do you see any of the teams currently leading these divisions that will not win the division come playoff time?
Well, I mean, the easy one, the low-hanging fruit here is one of these is not like the other. And you got the 5-4 Broncos sitting here leading the West. And I just think that shows that they're in kind of a soft division. But they're also soft to be overtaken. So, anybody could win that division, literally like a 3-game winning streak. And any one of those teams is leading the division by 2 games, So I think the Broncos are probably the closest. The South is also kind of close. It depends if one of them can make a late game run, but I think the Titans kind of have figured it all out there in the South.
Yeah,
and I know you liked them too.
They're all
Nick. You
still alive for sure. I think the other one, the Patriots, the Jets took a forced loss or a straight sim loss to the Chiefs, which probably wouldn't have happened. So he's sitting at 6-2 now, 7-2. You got VBD at 6-2 as well. The Dolphins are sitting at 6-3 right there too. So the AFC least is other than poor Rob and the Bills are all battling for those wild card spots.
Who now has locked up a few X factors, man. He's got the X factor pass rusher, he's got the X factor running back, the safety, and I think he has another one too. But
what about the AFC South or the NFC South? Do you see the Panthers? They got two matchups still with the Bucks. But the Panthers have that, first place schedule they have to play.
Yeah, it depends,
they have one.
Man.
They're 8-1. The Bucks are sitting 8-0 with a big matchup against the Jags tonight. Which John Eagle, dude, for the Jags is a giant killer.
He is.
He might play down to his competition all the time, but he sure plays up to it.
He does, man. He plays up to the competition. However well the opponent is gonna play, is how John's gonna play, man. He needs to be like he's always joked about wanting to be in the cupcake division. I think he should be in a really talented division because that's when he plays his best.
Dude, he does. He beats all the good guys and struggles against the guys who are struggling themselves.
Right?
Um,
Man, but with the
let's
South though, I think that because this new guy, this Kylo Ren dude, he's a new entity. You know, nobody really knows how good he is. Nobody really knows his style. I think that Brian's gonna watch a lot of film though. He definitely likes to watch
yeah.
film while he's bored or
Well,
something, or you
Brian,
know.
Brian just wants to be able to come and chat and act like the big bad wolf that just took down the 8-0 guy.
Yeah.
He wants to try to
Yep.
flex, and he'll talk about it for the next
Next 3 seasons.
5. Yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah. Remember the time I beat Kylo and he's 8-0 and the whole league said he was the best one? Really, Brian's the only one that's in there calling him what, Madden Jesus or something.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. He's
so,
setting this
but
whole like he's
I
writing the
do,
story for himself, you know?
yeah, I do. Oh, that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to set up a big win. But
Exactly.
that will be a fun matchup to watch for the rest of the cycle with the Bucks and Panthers. Um, and maybe if Drew Lock gets out of the same New Orleans, they'll be okay too. Yeah, this Cowboys are struggling. It's the Redskins are going to run away with that. The Cardinals took a loss to the Seahawks, so now the Niners have a 4-game lead in the NFC West. Tosh is running away with your AFC North. It's we got a lot of 8-1, 7-2s, and then like you said, the little Broncos down there.
Yeah.
But let's what do we got? Let's pull up our 2-player graphics, then we'll get
Yeah, we
out
got our
of here to
player
the game.
spotlight. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Where's that player spotlight thing? It's pretty cool. Yeah, there it is. Player spotlight.
Little player spotlight. We're just gonna break down 2 guys in the league that have been putting together pretty good seasons so far. You want to throw
Famous
our
Jameis
What a
for the Tampa Bay
turnaround for
Buccaneers.
Jameis Winston with the season 29 stats, dude. 2,000, almost 2,400 yards, 26 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions, 80% completion percentage,
That's
and a
crazy.
perfect quarterback rating. What a turnaround for the 29-year-old former first-round pick for the Bucks, right?
No joke, man. God forbid this guy get a young quarterback, because if he has
I
that
know.
season, because Jameis sucks, man. He could have that season with
Yeah.
literally any quarterback in the league. If he gets a 21-year-old kid, even if he's 52 overall, he's still going to turn him into a beast, man. Kylo's for real, man. I think he's here to stay.
I mean, Winston's coming off his last 2 seasons, 21 touchdowns, 27 picks, 16 touchdowns, 14 picks. Majority of his completion percentage has been below 60%. So this is a gigantic turnaround. Yeah, like you said, he hasn't really faced some intense competition yet. He did have to play the Packers and a couple others. So I'm curious. I really want to see against the Vikings defense that sometimes doesn't show up, and then I want to see against the Panthers and the Jags tonight. That Jags pass rush is nasty.
Hey,
And then
Nick.
we'll throw up the other one if you're ready.
No. I got a joke for you.
Uh-oh.
I guess you could say Jameis Winston is riding the ship in Tampa Bay.
I
All right, I'm out.
apologize. I
I'm out. I
apologize
know.
to chat
Joe
for that.
Mixon, the halfback, number 28 for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Dude, Hawkeye, the games he played this year, he put up huge numbers with Mixon. And then he goes on vacation for like the fastest 5 weeks in all of XFL history and missed a bunch of games. But Mixon still, he played another game. He's up over 1,000 yards. He's got 9 touchdowns. He's averaging 7.1 yards per carry now. With a young running back like Jaden Wilkerson behind him, and he's still feeding Mixon because he's producing. Mixon's really good. If you look at his, he really needed to get him to at least superstar dev, because now he's 27 and just star dev. That's not going to
Yeah,
be good.
it's kind of mind blowing. Like, he's had great seasons, and you've got a guy like Hawkeye who's really committed to the run game, man. Like, his offense completely revolves around the run. The way he plays, he's going to pound the rock. And if you can't stop that, then you're not going to stop his offense.
Yeah, he likes to run the football, which it's just hard to get into that top 5 or top whatever it is in touchdowns or in yards, because there's so many guys who are committed to, we have Geis who's always up there. You have Barkley who's always up there. You got, Robert with Cofield was up there with 21 touchdowns last season. It's just, Sean, we don't talk about Dolphins players on the podcast. Force feeding your bum running back. No, but it's impressive what he's done with Joe Mixon, because he's not that 95 speed running back or it's been impressive.
Yeah,
he's
just making good reads. Like, I play him twice a year. For me, he's just one of the smartest running users in the league. Similar to VBD, where he picks his holes, he looks, and he's got good vision. It's pretty fun to watch.
Do you want to throw the hit stick big board of the prospects up there while you
Yeah,
get the stream ready,
let's hit
and
it.
I'll just break down the prospects.
Yeah, break
Or
them
do you have the stream
down.
ready?
It is good.
The stream's ready
No,
or
the
no?
big board is up while I'll be getting the other thing set up.
Okay. Well, we got the hit stick big board. Everyone's favorite topic in the XCFL is the draft. Some teams have already to draft. Maybe a couple too many that still have a chance. So this would be our hit stick big board without seeing the combine right now. Our top 10. You might be like, whoa, look, there's 3 offensive linemen on there. That just shows how bad this class is at the top, in my opinion, so far. But leading the way, you have the University of Houston quarterback Tommy Tipton. This guy is
Big
a
tip.
stud. He might be one of the better prospects we've seen. 6'6", 230, A plus throw power, A minus throw accuracy mid, B plus throw accuracy deep. I think he's going to be the best quarterback we've seen come out right out of the box. He's definitely going to be the top pick. No doubt about it.
It's a great
It's
name
just all,
too. The
hey,
name
dude, it
is so
is Tommy
important.
Tips.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's pretty cool.
He Tommy Tips gonna look good in a Seahawks jersey, says Jace. Chris said 1 or 2 coming to Jax. Your number 2 is an interesting one. The 6'6" wide receiver from Washington, Sean Jackson, who suffered an injury, so he's gone. He probably won't be able to participate in the combine. He will be in the draft, most likely, if it follows suit. But a 6'6" receiver, and he's kind of a mystery. Are you going to get the 92 speed, 93 Excel, or are you going to get the 87 speed, 89 Excel? With a 6'6" guy, it's up in the air. You have no clue, especially when he doesn't run in the combine or anything like that. But it's not all about speed this year. If you have a guy who with nice spec catch, decent release, I just think he's the only receiver, maybe Jeffrey Randolph out of Boston College, but he's really the receiver that's worthy of a top 10 pick, in my opinion.
I don't know. It's kind of sad that you have a left tackle at number 3. That really
I
does
know,
show.
man,
That
but
shows
you
shows the depth of
gotta
the class.
recognize the greatness of Jalen Prince, man. He's A minus impact block, A minus pass block power, A minus lead block, 6'6", 330 out of Vandy. The guy is going to be your staple left tackle for the rest of the cycle. I don't think he'll go 3 overall, but dude's not making it out of the top 10. Even O-line doesn't matter, whatever. But he this is a tremendous talent, and it's just a big dude, 6'6", 330. He's been going up against all the SEC pass rushers all year. I think I like the next guy we're about to talk about, Terrence Baxter, who I don't know if you guys read Rob's article about Terrence Baxter, but it
He's
was a
nice.
really cool article. 6'4", 314. He's not really your pass rusher, but he can shut down the run. If you get that stream ready, you can go pop it up, and we can just talk about the rest of these guys.
Yeah, sounds good.
Couple other defensive linemen. You got Kendall Ricks out of Michigan State. Go green, go white. Defensive tackle. He's another run stopper. Not a huge pass rushing class like we saw last cycle or last season. And then you get a guy like Patrick Bernstein out of Florida State, who is your speed rushing outside linebacker. 6'3", 245. Great athleticism off the edge there. Finesse rusher. Which has kind of been the thing, I think, this cycle. Your Von Millers, your Harold
Especially on the
Landrys, Brian
edge.
Burns, those guys have been money.
Yeah, for
14-7 Green Bay, huh?
Yeah, Green Bay's kind of threatening to run away with this one.
He just beat me. I wouldn't doubt it. Then we'll go a little deeper here. There's really not. It's a really very, very average defensive back class. Stephen Burley out of Notre Dame, probably the best one you're going to get. 6'2", 211. He's going to lay the lumber. I like him playing in the box. He can play deep if you need him to play back there, but can play free safety, strong safety, nickel corner, wherever you want to put him on your defense. He's going to be solid. Then the last one's 2 really good offensive linemen if you want to go that route. And then John Stamer, the tight end out of Penn State. We've seen a couple tight ends go pretty early. He's 22, so he's much younger than Hoskins that went to the Eagles. I don't think I think he's a guy that's going to go in the top 20 picks, which is pretty good value for a stud tight end.
Oh yeah,
But
I mean, guys like that, tight ends are sneaky good, man. Like tight ends, if you can have a good tight end in your offense, it's a wildly underrated part of the game this year.
yeah, He just needs to run a good combine. Is what it really comes down to. Which who knows this cycle, but he's a vertical threat archetype, so you never know. 6'4", 238. I think he could be money. But we can go ahead and just broadcast this game if we want to. That's, I mean, we'll
Yeah, I'm
throw some
down.
Twitter questions out there. We got a couple good ones.
Well, there was one we missed earlier. I wanted to go ahead and go to. I think it's a good question. It was, does the draft matter? It's kind of a funny question that we have over and over, and I think it depends. I think if you're a playoff team, absolutely not. Um, Anywhere from 20 on, you're not going to get anything that great. It's going to be pretty much second round talent from there. I'd rather have 33 than I would rather have 20 because at least I have the chance to still trade up and get two firsts rather than sitting at 33 and having a second instead. So I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think if you're up above 20 and you're in the 15 plus range, that's where it does start to matter. Um, I think it's just different levels. It depends on how much you trust your ability to develop guys because you see guys like Sean who are picking guys. I'm talking. Well, there's got a lot of Sean's. I'm talking Sean Smith with the Dolphins. He's kind of turned that team around into a winner pretty soon because he's gotten those dev traits for guys that might not have been considered top tier guys. He got him in the fifth round, second round, third round, guys like that. But he gets those dev traits, feeds them. Like you joke, he's feeding them. But yeah, he is. You got to get
Well,
him, got
that's
to
how
get him
you have
reps
to
when they're
do it,
young.
unfortunately, which
Yep.
is the problem with Madden. But I agree with you. It depends on your situation. Like guys like Jack can afford to throw away his first round picks and trade him for X factors because his roster's ready to go. He has a nice base of 24, 25 year olds. But then he can kind of fill the rest of the roster up with those X factors or those older ability guys. I think the draft will always matter because it helps get you cap relief.
It does,
Lock a guy up on a
especially this
cheaper,
year,
yeah.
bro. Especially this year in Madden. Like, it's because veterans are so expensive. Like, that's what
Yeah,
blows my mind is just like a 67 overall left tackle that you would find in the draft. If he's
yeah.
23 and asking for a contract, he wants 4 million a year. I'm like, are you joking? You're a
That
backup. Why do you want this kind of
that
money?
that that link Bracket posted and had Brent Pinn was pretty interesting, talking about the contracts and how expensive guys are, how they overvalue play to the market, and it has made it interesting. You have to make. We're gonna have to make because we're gonna get 9, 10, 11 seasons in here. And you're
Yeah.
gonna have to really make some difficult decisions on keeping certain guys or overpaying backups and so the draft will come to matter because if you can dev and get these dev traits for your young guys,
Oh yeah.
it's gonna be worthwhile.
Bro,
One
especially if
more.
you're,
Oh, go
especially
ahead.
real quick, especially if you're paying a quarterback, either a quarterback
Yeah.
or a really
Yep.
expensive pass rusher. And I don't think this year you can have both. If you want to have a defense, then I don't know, man. It's like a pass rusher is so important, but if you've got a star quarterback, like for example, like with Tosh and the Browns, he's got pretty much a $30 million contract, 30 to 40, and he's got a $20 million contract with Baker and his boy Miles Garrett. What do you do? Do
Yeah.
you take that? Do you? It's tough. It's a tough situation.
Well, I mean, the Cardinals are in that same boat because they just gave Brian Burns 7 years, 100. And you're paying him after you just paid Zeus 100 something million. So you pretty much have two quarterbacks on your roster at that point. Said, and that's tough, but that's where the draft really matters. So
No doubt.
um, if we go the next one here, this is a really interesting one because it's not really XFL related, but I think it could be obviously. Should the NFL overtime rules change to be more like college where both teams get a shot? What is your opinion on this, Reeks?
Man, that's interesting. I think yes. I want to see both teams get the chance. I think that the fact that whoever wins the coin toss can decide the game on their first drive, I think that's terrible. I think that at the least, they need to extend it to where both teams can have the potential to score a touchdown and then it's game on from there. But I don't necessarily like the way the college game does it, where both teams just kind of start on the 25 and then the touchdowns count towards their touchdown total. Like, I don't know. To me, that kind of skews the numbers because imagine if you and, I don't know, like, shoot, I'm trying to think of another really good, like, say you and Brian for kicks and giggles. Imagine if you and Brian were in an overtime, you could pretty much have 8 touchdowns on each side because you're going back and forth for so long. It's it would kind of skew the numbers. I think there's a better way to do it. Maybe not the college way and not the NFL way, but I think they could find a better way to do it.
I would like the college way, but I want it to start from the 50-yard line or 40-yard line. So you have to go 60 yards or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want. It's stupid that you're already in field goal range. I think, or start from your own 20 and you gotta go 8, or just play an extra timed quarter. A 10-minute quarter, a five. Well, Madden's like 5-minute quarter, and just play it till it's over, and whoever's winning at the.
That's a good call. Yeah,
I don't know.
I
It's
kind of
just
like that
both
idea.
teams do need a shot in real life and in Madden. I mean, you can kill most of the clock. We don't allow true clock, but you can kill 4 or 5 minutes just to kick a field goal. And then your opponent has a minute or minute and a half to go touchdown.
You know what would be kind of
But
interesting? Here's an idea. This is kind of off the wall, but what if they just extended the second half for another quarter or maybe half a quarter and basically just give whatever team that just scored. So, like somebody say if you score from behind to tie the game, guess what? You got to kick the ball off to your opponent now. Even if you kick it with 0 seconds left on the clock in the fourth, now your opponent, you basically keep playing like the fifth quarter, where it just keeps going and now you kick it off to your opponent. And then, like you said, do you know what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense?
Tosh says in chat, in quotes, the touchdowns count towards their touchdown total. And then Regan Booger. Yeah, but it is an interesting argument. I'm just happy they got rid of you can win it with a game-winning field right away. Like Adam
Yeah.
Vinatieri won Brady a Super Bowl doing.
Yeah, true.
Because that was so stupid. You had to gain like 30 yards of offense, then you could kick a field goal to win the game. That was stupid.
It is.
John Grizzly says, I don't understand what Regan's saying, but I don't like it.
I wish I could have explained it better. I don't know. It kind of just came to me. Like, did you understand what I'm saying? Where it's like,
I think you need a rebuttal. Regardless, the other team should get a chance. Like, how cool would it have been if the Vikings go down and score last night or yesterday against the Saints, and then you get to see Breeze come out and he's got to match it.
exactly.
If he doesn't, and he's got to go for it on fourth downs and everything because you have to score a touchdown. So your advantage of scoring first is that the other team's got to, at least go for it on fourth downs and everything, and you could end it anytime, really.
True. And that's what sucks, especially on defense, is when you fought an entire game and you're tired, and it's way easier to score on a tired defense than it is to score on somebody that's fresh and ready to go.
They made good steps, from where overtime was, where at least each team gets a chance if the one team doesn't score a touchdown. But it's got a little ways to go, that's for sure. Let's move on. We got a couple other questions. We got the Packers driving here, and he needs him for a touchdown. Devontae Adams, he's going to go up 10 here, just before 40 seconds left in the first half.
I like this next question, though. That's one of my favorites. I like that. Should we eliminate the trade deadline or back it up? And they even add the two potential debates to it, which is, on one hand, it would add more activity to the league, but on the other hand, it's non-realistic. So, I mean, I'm probably going to go – I got to go with non-realistic on this one. I think that it sticks where it is for a reason. Halfway through, it prevents guys from trading away all their players. Because at the halfway point in the season, you don't really know that your team is toast. If I could trade away my best players and I know for a fact I'm eliminated from playoff contention at week 12 or 13, I don't know. That's one of those things.
We would see some pretty crazy deals. Week 17, someone's got, no wins, and they decide they want to go full rebuild. They're just dealing out because the draft order, like you said, it's pretty much set.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just going to be playoff teams buying these 90 overall players that are going to help them for the playoff run.
Or
I like
getting
the
a
week
guaranteed
8 and 9 trade deadline. You have to picked off by the Packers too. You have to at least plan ahead, kind of, and kind of project where you think guys are going to end. Is it time to dump it, or are you going to make a run and win 5 in a row, 6 weeks of the season? And I don't know.
Well, it's funny. It's a funny question because it says adds more activity, but for me, it doesn't really add good activity. It adds more like the the frustration where you're like, all right, I'm gonna call it the Grizz factor, where you're kind of like, all right, my team sucks. I'm pissed. I'm throwing
Yeah.
it away. We're burning this thing down. Like, if you're in week 12 and you finally hit that line, you look back, you're like, oh, I can't trade anybody. But if you're in week 12 and you have a week 14 trade deadline, you're
Yeah.
burning your team down, and you don't care about it. So it's one, yeah, I don't know. You kind of got to weigh that, but
Jace brings up an interesting point, which actually leads to our next Twitter question. He says, "Is Boone going to take that QB at number 1 overall?" We had a question submitted that says, "Can Viper be considered good after 2 seasons of bottom 5 play?"
it's a good
You
question.
can't lean on you can lean on your Super Bowl forever, but there's been tons of shitty quarterbacks that have led their team to a Super Bowl and have never,
Yeah, the one hit wonders. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't think Viper led his team to the Super Bowl. I think it was Gurley
No,
running for almost 2,000 yards and Aaron Donald and Cam having these massive seasons.
exactly. He didn't lead the team to the Super Bowl, but I will say Viper
He showed
had
up in the Super
heroics.
Bowl.
Exactly. He
Yeah.
played really well in the Super Bowl. So one game, I'll, I think it's got to be looked at the full body of work. Nah, I'm on team. Viper is one of those like funny stories that we'll tell at an XCFL meetup 10 years from now, when we're all just like, do you guys remember when Boone took this
He
42
didn't.
overall quarterback and won a Super Bowl with him just to spite us all? Do you remember that? I just think,
It was impressive and it should have never happened.
yeah,
First
it
off,
shouldn't have, yeah.
but the guy who submitted the question said bottom 5 play, but Viper, I mean, last season threw 37 touchdowns and 24 picks and threw for over 4,000 yards. Season before that, 38 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. It's not like he's played bad. This season, I think, is his worst. He's only 56% of his passes, and he's been sacked 66 times, which passes his total from 2 seasons ago. This
crazy.
poor guy, dude. I need to do the math on this
He's
real
getting
quick.
beat to
This
death.
is freaking nuts. 76 plus 63 plus
death.
85 plus 66. To date, in his 3.5 seasons, he's been sacked 290 times. He is 6 feet tall, 220 pounds, and this dude has been sacked 290 times in 3.5 seasons. And like you said before we got on here, the Rams' offensive line is not bad.
No,
he
not
has
at all.
Ronnie Staley, 80. All of his guys are over 80 overall. And dude, Boone said that's enough. I'm coming in. You can't.
That's enough. I'm coming in. I was gonna say, I was like, I wonder how long he's gonna take this for. Like
290 sacks. I'm not letting you come in, Boone, because I know you're gonna come on here and bitch about not being able to scramble. But nobody has gotten sacked even close to that amount, which is the problem. It's not a scrambling issue. It's you. I don't know.
I mean, I've played him. I'm like, bro, why do you just? Because he stands in the pocket like the Statue of Liberty. Like, all right, I'm gonna just sit here.
Yeah.
Like, I just think Boone is one of those guys. He will cut off his nose to spite his face. I think that's what he looks at Viper as. Like, he's gonna take sacks all day long because as at the end of the day, he could use him as the poster boy for being able to scramble more.
Well, here's the question then. Boone has been complaining that he can't go deep now because of Viper. Do we see like Jay said? Do we see Boone go after this Tommy Tipton out of Houston?
Oh yeah, if he's there for sure.
If Boone has the first overall pick,
make a move.
If Boone has the first overall pick, he's letting Viper sit the bench and drafting Tommy Tipton. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think Boone has the balls to go to first, dude. I've never seen him trade up. He always trades down. He's always.
Why does he have to trade? He is 0. He's got
0-8. So we're saying he's there at 1. Okay, yeah, for sure. No, I think he goes quarterback. But if he's like 2 or 3, I don't think he makes the move. I don't think he pulls the trigger. I think he just kind of lets the draft fall to him and hopes for the best.
Oh, wow, Jace. Viper's the perfect QB because you always have an excuse for a loss.
All right,
we got Tosh says Flacco or Viper. JMO says Viper is Trent Dilfer.
Wow. Dilfer did win a Super. Yeah. Rex Grossman actually got to a Super Bowl. Didn't win the Super Bowl, but he made it to the Super Bowl with that
Boone
insane
beat
Chicago
VVD,
team.
right? That was a really good Patriot team that he beat too.
He
But
did. No, and that was when VBD was like in his prime.
yeah,
He had everybody but like 2 years ago. So before regression and all this stuff. Like he didn't have Bobby Wagner, but he had.
man, Overbay is
He was loaded.
struggling. The Packers making a statement here, man. They're just out. They're looking for that last wild card spot right now. They're gonna be sitting a game behind Minnesota, I believe, and they own the tiebreak. Pretty wild. Look at how many stars on defense.
I still think that's hilarious. Boone's like, that's it. I'm coming in there.
JMO says Viper in 3 seasons getting stacked as much as my QB in 10.
Oof.
Oh yeah, Tosh has the Vikings pick. That's Odell on the kick returns. NWS has been nasty with those. That super juke, man.
He has. And Bosa versus he almost got sacked again. Bosa and D-Law are kind of battling it out this year for the sack title. It kind of goes back and forth. Madden's basically melting on itself. It's
Bosa is nasty. 202 sacks in his career now.
Yeah.
And he's only
insane.
28 years old. I mean,
well, because he's
pretty
getting
wild.
like 60 sacks a year. I mean, if you get 60 sacks a year, that'll kind of happen.
Yeah. Do we have any other Twitter questions? I think that was the last one.
I think that was it. If you guys have any chat questions, have we got any good?
Yeah, post them in there if you want to.
You guys have been hitting us up with some good ones. I love it. I love getting the in chat debate. The live feedback. Even when I'm getting compared to Booger. I mean, it's funny because Booger is like the exact example of what not to do on live television. Like when he drew the male genitalia with the telestrator on it, I was like, bro, we're done. I saw that immediately too. Like I called it in live. I was like, bro, did you guys see that dick? And nobody else saw it.
This is my question though. If I'm looking at the standings, you got the Rams at 0-8, the Eagles at 0-8-1, which that tie could bite them in the butt come time for the number 1 pick. Giants 1 win, Bills 1 win, Chiefs 2, Bears, Lions. I think the only teams that would go quarterback, Seahawks.
Seahawks
Steelers,
for sure, dude. Jace would run that pick to the podium.
Steelers, Saints, Lions, Seahawks. Bears are set. Chiefs are set. Bills are set. Giants have a young quarterback, but if they're sitting at 1, you can't pass on this guy.
No. Wait, didn't they draft? I thought the Giants drafted a guy last year who had like a hidden dev or something.
Yeah, I think so. What did Box Alley? I might need your Nick and Godric. Dude, Grizz's question: once Kylo uses OBS, are we getting a new Ravens user?
Immediately, yeah. That's probably what's gonna happen. They'll be like, "Oh,
Grizz
great, cut the dead weight."
Grizz says he'll go QB if he's there. Yeah, Jay says I'm selling the farm for first overall. I'm coming for you, Tommy.
Oh yeah, dude. Jace, I'm telling you, there are guys that would trade, and I could see Boone. I really could see Boone trading down out of that spot. Boone's gonna fall in love with some third. I couldn't hear you. Oh, sorry. I said I could really see Boone trading down, even if he has the number 1 overall. I could see him taking some blockbuster deal, falling in love with another 4th round Viper.
Yeah, that's my thing. That's not Boone's style to take the actually good quarterback. It's not his style.
I know, to play with a good QB that touches the ball every play. Yeah, I mean, who's ever heard of that strategy? Jeez.
And it's
preposterous.
But this Tommy Tipton, outside of his name being awesome, is looking nice, man. 21 years old, strong arm, 6'6". I mean, if he's X Factor, watch out. But it's kind of like Trevor Lawrence life. You're gonna see. I think next year in the NFL, you're going to see teams throwing the towel pretty quickly if they don't think they have a shot. You're going to see teams, lots of guys going on IR really early to battle for Trevor Lawrence, which you're kind of seeing here with a lot of I don't know. How does Regan feel about possession catch? Sean Smith wants to know.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it.
He
I don't
doesn't
want
want
to
to
talk
talk
about
about it.
it. No, I don't want to talk
Grizz
about it.
says my QB going to get millions. See, you can't let your Hudson Wheeler's your guy. You got to roll. You're not bad enough to be sitting at first overall to take Tommy Tipton. So Hudson Wheeler's got to be signed as a Jag.
I got to go peep out the Jags roster real quick. We're gonna do a quick Grizz spotlight. I'm telling you, this roster is loaded. Like on
Oh,
paper,
it's loaded.
it is probably one of the best defenses in the league. It's got a great quarterback. You know, like you can't.
Oh, dude, Grizz has the Lions pick. Totally forgot.
That's pretty tight.
But wait, you don't have Lions. Oh, I went to the Lions to look at for the Lions pick, but I'm supposed to be in the Jags.
Yeah, that would
80
help.
million cap space next year. All free agents are mine, says Jace. You won't be the only one. Now teams are really starting to free up. Other than the big dog, I don't know. There's
Man,
a lot of teams, a lot of room.
Nick, you should trade for Hudson Wheeler, man. He looks nice. Like
Hudson Wheeler is freaking awesome.
he's got good speed, good throw power, 93 throw power. I mean, this guy
He's a
I don't see
beast.
how he can be bad. Like I'm gonna go look at his traits real
He
quick.
needs to up the short accuracy. That's his issue because he's sailing a few of those. But the issue with Wheeler is him at star dev, and Grizz doesn't. To his props to him for not abuse not abuse. I don't want to say abusing stats, but for because to get your guy to move up, you really got to be up in the 5 top 10 to get him to jump up, and that's tough to do, especially with some of the offenses we got around here.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, he's got weapons. You know, he's got the DJ Chark. You know, and Chark's not bad either. You know, for having a slower start to his career, not as
Dude,
explosive as
Chark,
like Dave last
Thielen,
year.
Tompkins. He's got that Daryl Stecker, who's the rookie 21-year-old who's got 95 speed that he likes using.
Yeah,
6'2", 95 speed. That's nice. He's got to dev him up, but 20.
best defensive line in the league by far.
Is he out of Grizz? Answer in chat. Is he from, or did you change? Did you change him to Oklahoma State? Because that's just too much
Too
of a
convenient.
coincidence. Did you pull Jags roster up here? Oh, you're just looking at your okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at my computer.
27-14, about to end the third quarter here. Vikings getting the ball back. It's a big division game. We got to see what Wild Bill Overbay can do here. It's
right,
looking like advance is going to be 1 a.m. Eastern time.
All right, guys. So funny story for those who don't know, this Jalen Merritt guy on the Jags roster, he's getting paid $8.77 million this year on a 1-year deal. Because I posted in chat, I couldn't find where my corner went and it turns out he's in free agency, and I'm an idiot and missed him in the re-sign. So Grizz is like, all right, I'm gonna go 200 him, and so like I look in, and he like didn't do it until the very very end of free agency, and he drops like 250 points on this guy, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I was like, nah, dude, you can have him. He's like, well, guess I got a $9 million corner. So that's the highest paid trash corner in the league. I mean, 95 speed and absolutely nothing else.
I wonder if he uses them.
Probably.
We have
I mean, he paid $9 million for him. I'd hope so.
2 questions in the YouTube chat. Can the Dolphins make the playoffs? From Tosh.
I thought it was from Sean. I was like,
no. And then Jace says, can the Seahawks make the playoffs? The NFC is going to be really tough because you pretty much have 2 coming out of the NFC South with the Bucs and the Panthers, unless either of them have a huge collapse. But with a down year from the Cowboys and a down year from the Cardinals sitting at 5-4 and the Seahawks just beat them, those are really your only. I mean, the Packers. It's really going to be between the Seahawks, Packers, and Cardinals. It looks like, and if Van can turn around, but it sounded like Van wanted to sell the farm, so the Seahawks have a decent chance. AFC wise, if you straighten your shit out, Regan, but you're at 5-4, I got to think you'll finish with at least 10 wins.
Probably.
The Colts at 5-3. You're getting 2 in from the AFC East for sure. And the AFC West is barely going to get 1 in. But the Dolphins have a legit shot. I think they kind of control their own destiny. They just keep winning and beating the teams that, it's very Oh, Grace says I'm beating the Ravens in a few weeks. Gonna come down to Finns and Ravens, says Tosh, and we know he has the tiebreak. It's not you, Regan.
It is
Um,
not.
you don't
And
have
it
the
was
tiebreak.
off of one play, man. That play.
Yep.
Oh, that one hurt me. It still
It's
hurts me,
part of the
man.
game, though. Sometimes that happens to you. Sometimes
It is.
gotta roll with it. It's part of. We were talking about it earlier. It's you can't really sit there and complain about it because it works in your favor sometimes, and that's it sucks, but it's gonna even out over the course of the thing. We're all playing the same game.
And what's kind of surprising is that safety makes the play 9 times out of 10. Like that's a good safety, and he made some crazy
Yeah.
plays against Chad. I mean, I he had one pick that was so ghastly. I just punted it back to him. I was like, that was such a stupid pick. Like you can just have the ball back, man. Like I'm not
Grizz,
taking that.
Grizz. It was the last second. Sean drove down the field. I think he was down.
Let me see if I
What
can
was he
find it.
down?
I could probably actually
He was
find the
down
link.
6. He threw a post to the back of the end zone, and Reed safety broke on it and didn't do anything. And Sean possession caught it in the back of the end zone, and then kicked the game winning field goal for the win. But what do we got? Oh, so he says, Jay says he plays the Eagles, Cardinals, Rams, Bengals, Steelers, 49ers, Cowboys. So Eagles struggling. You probably beat the Eagles. I think you're going to lose the Cardinals match. You beat the Rams because Boone's tanking. Bengals will be a tough one. The Bengals-Steelers games will be key for you. Niners and Cowboys are going to be tough, depending on where Van is sitting at the end of the year. But that could be a big game going down the stretch with two teams at the potential wild card spot. It's definitely doable to be a 10-win team there for the Seahawks.
That.
Over big. He just gotta get down to the 2-yard line. I think that was is that Scotty Miller? I can't see the number. No. 81. Way too slow. Riley McCarron. Whoa. Why is he even on the field?
I mashed the pause button so fast after that, bro. I was like, I just hit pause. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, sorry, I showed the film of that so Grizz could see it. Because it's just one of those plays, man. Just one of those plays.
Well, your DB rerouted him too, but he did drop a dot.
He ran into like 20 guys. Like he was like smack, bounce, bank, bunk, and then like finally he's like, all right, I'm just gonna catch this in the back of the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, it's we need some there's really no rules we can put tanking, but other than giving attribute upgrades maybe to teams who win a certain amount of games, or heck, maybe if you drop attributes down for people who don't win enough games.
Yeah, that's the only problem is because there used to be where if you lost, like last Madden, you and I talked about it. It was really non-beneficial to tank last time because
I don't think it's beneficial to tank at all. Your team doesn't dev. You're just hoping dev traits. If you're not winning games, your coach isn't getting the super attribute upgrades. I mean, the difference between a team who has a winning season every time, your coach is at level 15, 16, 17, 18, where some of these guys are at probably level 2, 3, and 4. You're not buying as many things. You're cool. You got a quarterback, and I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. You're wasting a year of all years. Unless you have a super young team of like 21-year-olds that are already speed and stuff, and you want to tank and give them
really
22.
Trash team.
I don't see a point.
I mean, if you have a really old trash team and you have to get the young, I don't know. But again, that's my point. Is there is no real, like last year, you would lose dev traits if you had a bad year and guys weren't playing well. So I mean, there was a real because dev traits could go down. There was a real like downside to tanking.
Grizz, your coach is level 1. That's got to be a joke.
No, I think if you don't win a lot, your coach doesn't really go up at all. He kind of stays around level 1.
What are you gonna count? What's your guy? Mine's 17.
Mine's not that high. I think it's 10.
Wow, his is actually level 1. Yeah, Ace talked about the bounty system, Tosh, from another league.
What's the bounty system?
That if you are out of playoffs and beat a playoff team, better team, the bigger the bounty, earning different things.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I just don't know if you want to sit there and waste 16 weeks, a full month of your life losing on purpose. I mean, go for it. Like
Yeah, that's true.
I just don't really. I don't know. I don't really get it. Like Boone, why would you show up to play your game just to know you want to lose? You know, I just don't understand it. But hey, different strokes for different folks, you know.
That's true.
But we got a
I mean,
6 point game here. 3 minutes to go in the fourth. 4th and 3. Packers kicking a field goal.
it's a pretty deep one. It's about
Yeah.
50, 52, 53. Let's see
Don't
what we
let that
get
clock
here.
tick down. What
Yeah,
is
smart.
Grizz tagging me on Discord?
Probably a screenshot of his player to prove that it's level 1. Yep. Mike Gundy. Oof.
Jeez. Wow, that is brutal. Boone, you need to get this game in with ARV. He woke up for this. It's like before work for him. You can't make him wait. And I'll give him the forced loss because we know you don't want to win. So I don't know. It's
So Nick, do you want to give Boone the chance to defend himself for?
no. He needs to get his ass in his game. We're not bringing him in here. He needs to get his shit going because ARV's got to go to work, and that's just not fair to have somebody wake up before play. Him sacrificing his sleep, and this dude just playing 2K or basketball. I don't know if it's real life or fake. It's real. Oh, this guy is playing 2K.
Oof.
I'm asking ARV if he wants to force loss or whatever. This dude, Boone, always trying to surprise me with something. Let's see if Billy Overbay can lead a comeback. Ooh, it's a bad throw there. 2:09 to go. Overbay's 3 interceptions already today.
Sounds like Lamar.
What time are you at in the stream? Is it
I'm at
2:09?
2:09. Yes, they just snapped. We're probably right, pretty close. And Overbay connects with the guy, number 85. I still haven't listened to my blackout Super Bowl commentary, Nick. I don't think I want to.
I didn't either. Take off. Oh, he should have took off with him on that last play.
You saw her see. I mean, he gets 10 yards, he gets a first. Doesn't Overbay have the leapfrog, the hurdle ability?
He's got
or is
some
that...
shitty abilities. But I think now his last one will be a sweet passing one, I think, because I think he's a. But it already sucks. He's got first one free as his X factor, which
Oh, yeah,
just
that's
sucks.
trash. Ooh, crunch.
But he got pocket lead, which is nice.
That is nice. Because I lead every pass, bro. Like, I don't
spin
even
cycle,
just do
spin
basic
cycle
passes.
and leapfrog. Clutch. He's not looking too clutch right now, sailing some of these throws.
Spin cycle's not bad, especially in the pocket. Like, if you can use that.
Yeah, but I don't think
gotta be a good
NWS
way to use that.
plays like that. You know,
That's true.
He
No,
doesn't
that's true.
want. I don't think he wants a scrambling quarterback.
But I'm saying you could use it to escape. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a way to, because the juke in the pocket, there's a different juke animation for when you're in the pocket. It's totally trash. Like, you just barely sidestep people instead of getting the full juke animation like you would in the middle of the field. So I wonder, I mean, if you get the full spin animation, that would be nice.
Gotta come down with that one. Hit you right in the hands, field. You get popped. Yeah, that's no good. So
Bro, this
4th
is
and
going to
20.
Thielen.
Am I behind here?
No, not Thielen. Scotty Miller. This has got to be Scotty here in the slot. I love this play. It's that, I think you like this with Taj too. Yep, it's that go route. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, but he hit the in underneath. Wow, that's a bold move. Okay, that's a really, really bold move.
He
Nick, try to refresh your stream.
That was
it might give you that's
impressive. Irv Smith.
Bro, that's on 4th and 20 though. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if I trust a catch and run from a tight end in a 3rd and 20. Like, man, that's impressive.
Probably just letting that clock tick, man.
That's true.
Up by 9. Doesn't really need to. And that's a heartbreaker. NWS is not calling any of his timeout, so he's really been get scoring here and get another stop. When do you kick the field goal? Get a couple more yards, kick your field goal.
I think he's probably trying to go touch. I'm guessing he's trying to go touchdown first. He's probably trying to get the touchdown first. Yeah. No, there it is. He gets the box out animation, and that is gonna be game for these Packers. Yeah, that was one where he kind of just tried to force it to his playmaker. Well, no, that was to Irv Smith. I don't know. It was in a triple or quadruple. Billy the Kid, man. Billy the Kid, he's a gunslinger.
He is. That's 4 INTs. You can't really blame that one. That's tough. That's a big win though for the Packers. He's gonna make Pride. It's
Pride's
nothing worse.
There's Pride's like, okay, I'm running it then.
When you take a knee to end the game and you're like, oh, then you got to run one. And this is where if you call TO on that, if I break it here, I'm going to score a touchdown on you because you
tried to stop the game. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's I think the biggest thing. Hey, bro, that's the biggest thing. And honestly, guys, like straight up, sportsmanship goes both ways. You know, if you know the game is over, sometimes it's better just to go ahead and run out the clock like your opponent is. You know, like when Nick was blowing my ass out, I just was like, all right, we're done. You remember that, Nick?
I have no problem. Yeah, I have no problem with NWS doing it here because it is a 9-point.
Yeah, for sure.
Here, but in certain situations, like I hit up Riot earlier. Oh, was it yesterday? And if you're losing by 30, both teams need to have 2 clock on. I don't care if if you're losing by 30 or more. You need to turn 2 clock on. The game is over, especially in the second half. If you can't just expect your opponent to give up playing and you just get to keep having fun slaying around, scoring touchdowns on them. Because it's just, don't give up if it's still a game, obviously, but it's just not fair to have somebody else give up and stop playing, and then you just get to keep having fun, throwing for all these stats and stuff.
Yeah, if you're getting beat,
both teams want the game over at that point. Avoid injuries. And just let it go. No fault to Riot. He said, oh, yeah, I was about to anyway, so no big deal. But it just helps everybody. It helps us having to watch people from running up the score or anything like that. But MWS is getting the ball. He got the ball back, so. Will we see a fifth interception?
Scotty tries to pull it in. That was a nice throw. It was into double coverage, but he did put it where only his receiver could get it. He just couldn't get his hands on it and bring it in.
NWS just got a little too one-dimensional when he got down here.
Yeah, just started trying to sling his way out.
Yeah, when you can...
Oh, there's another one.
When you can just drop all your guys back and know a pass is coming. 5 INTs, that's tough. But Odell did get hurt mid-game, so I'm wondering, I didn't see how severe it was. But he didn't come back. But you can't have 5 turnovers and expect to even come close to. That's to only lose by 9 with 5 turnovers. Pride's pretty good. Not good to throw 5 picks, but to be that close.
What's the Vikings' record so far?
He was 6-2. So this puts NWS at.
I think Pride goes to 5-4, right?
Pride goes to 5-4 and takes over the last wild card spot. Well, him and Brent are tied for it in the NFC. Vikings were 6. They're 6-3 now. So Pride's a game behind NWS with the head-to-head win. So it's going to get interesting. I think the Packers are on. I think he was 1-4. I think he's on a 4-game win streak. That's not bad. See, but there's no Pride could have easily thrown in the towel. Yeah, he started 1-4, and now he's rallied off wins against the Lions, Falcons, Niners, and Vikings. He plays the Saints, the Chiefs, the Bears, the Chargers. This could be a 10, 11, 12 win season still.
Oh yeah, and that's what I love about the XCFL, man. Is, even guys like Sean White, he never throws in the towel. I remember he beat me a couple of seasons ago, and I was 10-4 I think 10-4 at that time, and he beat me in like week 16 or something. And he messaged me. He was like, "Man, I always do this. I always ruin my draft pick." And I'm like, "Man, I love that, man. He's got that fight, got the scrap. You love seeing that any
Reeves,
day.
do
Anybody
you have
can win."
any? Do you have anywhere to go, or do you want to throw on Rams, Giants? It's up to you.
I should probably
I
go
know
to
you're.
bed, man. Yeah,
I
I
was
gotta
gonna say
grab
I
some
know you're
sleep.
a night or not a night owl like myself.
Nah, man. Yeah, I got that job tomorrow morning, and I'm not a
Same.
morning person. I'm not really a night person. I just kind of like suck. It's kind of a it's
Yeah,
not. I'm just
but
kind of a.
it's looking like advance is gonna be 1 a.m.
Is that our last? Is that going to be our last game? Do we have all games scheduled?
Yeah, Grizz posted that they're playing 11:59. They might go sooner. I don't know. I think they're really. I think ideally they wanted to play it tomorrow in tonight. So that's shout out to them trying to make that work because Grizz did drive across the country today.
Wow, mad respect.
Did Titans Patriots get played? Talking out loud here.
It did. Yeah, Titans won
Did
that.
Titans won?
Yeah.
Man, do we have a new player in the AFC here?
I don't know, man. We'll see if he's a one-hit wonder like those Rams in the NFC.
Hammer's been he went to the playoffs last year. He's sitting at 8-1. Ezekiel Claiborne runs for 171 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jeez.
Yeah, a lot of that was in garbage time. He broke off like a 50-something yarder.
Got Oakland beats Detroit. Falcons Colts. We need to set a force win for the Colts.
Whoa! Surprise! Congrats to Brent in winning season 29 Survivor pool.
Yep, that it's a bummer because I think we're gonna up that to next season, getting to go star to superstar. Dev.
Yeah, that would be cool. Because I mean, superstar. A lot of people go star to superstar. Get that.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to get a guy
an
an ability. I think utilized if people wanted to use an offensive lineman, and I think it would really help with neutralize some of the pass rushers. If you had a young offensive lineman you wanted to get, know.
I would consider it for sure, because that is one thing where offensive linemen definitely matters. Once they get those superstar abilities, man, that's huge. And that's the one thing that sucks about offensive line. Again, if you want to talk about something, whenever we talked about the whole abilities thing, the defensive linemen getting the opportunity to go up in sacks so much, because they sack so many people, they get a bunch of sacks and stuff that pushes their overall up and to get the dev upgrades. But offensive linemen physically cannot upgrade their dev. So the offensive linemen aren't going to have as many superstar abilities to counter the crazy defensive ones. So, it's just another one of those things where there is imbalances, there's tuning that needs to be done on EA's side. But I like that. I like that idea.
Yeah, I think we will. We're going to look to increase even some of the contests we do. We'll try to include user rank points as well as some type of either an attribute bump or something. We're looking into it. Get help guys dev other people along. Not that we really need to, because there's a ton of superstars and stuff as it is, anyways. But
yeah.
All right, well, we can go ahead and wrap this one up.
All right, bro. Sounds good. And, thank you guys for tuning
in. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Trying to keep it fresh. More go with the flow kind of thing, some different topics. So if you ever have questions you want answered, I'd like to get a few other people on here. Whether it's like a coach's hot seat or getting to know some of our newer users. If you ever want to hop in or you want to get involved in any of the shows or broadcast, I can shoot me a DM. I'll add you to our media channel, and hopefully we can get more guys involved and get those user rank points. So
yeah, guys, and don't be afraid.
Let's keep it rolling.
Definitely shoot Nick like a time that you're free, because me and Nick can we're pretty flexible. We can work around. If we get a guy in here that's really passionate about hopping on hit stick, I'm pretty much free in the night as long as I'm not having to say anything. I can be coherent long enough, to be fine. So, getting a new guy on would be great. Love seeing you guys, new faces and stuff.
Absolutely. All right. Well, cool, guys. We're gonna sign off here. Thanks for tuning in, and keep this pace rolling.